Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of X for the War campaign. That's right, we're back on the war side of things. Our hat Freeport's flashing like a maniac. Because I got a mission there possibly, we'll have a double check that. But yes, we have done the economy side of things. We'll promote to League Associate Reward. Associate with Lee. Talk to Catherine's Attack 3. Attic Far Free League. Like to honour the occasion by inviting you to talk to representatives at their headquarters. Awesome. Must be there. Anyways, we have done a lot of work on the kind of side of things with the economy. If you've not seen that, make sure you check that out. That's a little bit of a different take on it. It's also quite a ways behind this series. If you haven't already seen that, make sure you do see it. It's got a good little different kind of outtake on things. A lot more work done on that series because obviously it's a little bit easier setting things up and then letting them tick over as they do. However, if you remember where we were at on the last episode, we upgraded our metal factory, and as you can see, we're sat nearly at 100 million credits because our metal factory is pumping out the credits. There you go, over 100 million. Bingo. So if we check out the plan build, you can see that everything is now up and running. It's all operational. The only thing I'd consider probably changing is placing another Argon 3 T pier. 3 dock T pier. Just so we can get 3 more large ships in. But I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to let it tick over now. Bring in some credits as and when we can get them. And we're going to start considering building the bigger ships. The 2 ships we're going to build today is the 2 ships I promised to build in the last couple of episodes. We're going to go straight into that right now. XL ships. And we're going to get ourselves the Tyrannus Line Breaker Battleship. Again, we could go for something like another carrier, the auxiliary ship, the builder, the miner, and the freighter. Yeah, I was right there with miner and freighter. Remember what I was talking about in the previous episode? Here we go. The Tyrannus Line Breaker Battleship. Battleship Mark II, 30 million a pop for battleships. Now, we had one, and as you can see, it was fairly decent. It survived some time. Bolt and beam seem to work really well for the attacking force. Now, I'm going to set up some frigates with some flak weaponry. Hopefully we'll see that when we do. Now, if you set high presets, you notice every time so this has got flak and beam turrets. If I go to a medium preset, then go back to a high, sometimes these change. So just be wary of that. The high preset is about what we've got. So if you look at the difference between the two, you notice all it is bolt and flak. And a few other little bits. Oh, something else is changed. What's changed? Flak's there. Looks like some of the consumables as well. So, fence repair and flare. Whereas that's got the laser turrets on it as well. So, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go for the high preset. So this isn't the design we've got because actually I'm thinking that if we have the carrier ship with the bolt turrets and we use the battleships with the flak turrets, then hopefully we'll rinse through small fighters. Because if you notice, the last time we bailed our carrier out, we had a lot of fighters. If we have flak in there, hopefully we can see they go down a little quicker. Let's add that. Let's get ourselves 2 of them. We can get 3 if we really want. Now, we've almost got enough to build 2 of them in the stations. It's going to take a little bit of time just for them 4 advanced composites, but no problems whatsoever. You have a look at the build times. We've got one at 27 minutes and one at 1 hour and 46 because obviously it hasn't got the available resources. Once that gets the available resources, that'll drop down quite considerably. It will probably only be able to build 1 at a time because I think if I remember rightly, it only has 1 large. It does only have 1 large. 1 large builder and 2, sorry, 1 extra large and 2 large. But they are large and large. You just already see it's building. It looks pretty cool when you see it from an angle. Okay, so hopefully once the first one is done, we can see the second one going up nice and quickly. Now, our second question is, we've got about 40 million left. We want to consider getting the next tier of ship, and that's just so we can get some more support. Now, remember, if we go into the area we were at last time, the kind of areas getting hit by that ion storm. I'm going to call it an ion storm because it kind of does relate to the ion storm. So we want to try and build these ships first, And then we'll build some of the fighters and stuff like that to place inside them, keep them inside, and then we can deploy them once we get out of the hazardous. Now, what choices do we have for large ships? Well, we've got the Bala and the Behemoth destroyers. Everything else is minor and freighters. So realistically, we can get ourselves a couple of Balas. But I do really want to get some Behemoths because the Behemoth cannons that you get, you actually go to the weapons here. The Behemoth main battery sits in there. If we go for the large weapons there, these large turrets here are quite powerful for what they are. I certainly want to get a Behemoth, and I'm not fond of the Behemoth, but I still think it's worthwhile getting. Get it all set up. We can see it's got itself with large beams and flak turrets. Again, it's going for the flak for the kind of outtakes of. Absolutely fine. So I'm going to get myself a Behemoth because I think this might be able to take out stations quite nicely. The other thing we want to consider is whether or not we want to look at getting something like a auxiliary ship, which could be useful for us. Because if we actually have a look at a high preset, right, it's got quite a lot of shielding. It's only got 8 flak turrets. You got repair, cargo, drones, crew as well. So you got kind of a backup of everything. If I remember rightly, yeah, it's got a decent fly marine as well. Again, that's something we want to consider, and whether we consider using that as like a sort of drop ship so we can try and take over other ships as well. We want to. But right now, we'll go on to doing the large ones because 1, we need destroyers, and 2, we can build the destroyer straight away. Now, we want the Balor escorts. Again, it's going for the flak and the beam turrets. Now, we can change that if we want to, but you know what? I think I am going to change them because we have a lot of flak. We've only got the beam to do more damage. Saying that, have a look. Turret group. So our medium turret groups we'll set to the flaks. Now we could go for something like the bolt, plasma, pulse, or shard. Off we go. Now the flaks are a lot more expensive because I'm presuming they probably do damage. We keep it with a flak. The smaller ships can have the bolt weaponry, I think. The question is do we get the 2 Balor escorts or do we go for Behemoth Vanguard first? I think considering we had so many... Now we had 2 K9 destroyers, which were ridiculously powerful. Not got many flak turrets on that, but we've got the 2 bigger ships for the flak turret. I think I'm going to go for the 2 Balor escorts, just because I want to have the Balors along with the Behemoths. Now, what I'll probably do is I'll do 1 Behemoth to 2 Balors to 1 battleship. That's what we're going. Let's go ahead and add 2 of them. That's all we're going to get built. Again, we've got low components. And that's just wiped out all of our money. Now, we can take away this money here if we wanted to, but I kind of want to leave it with that 25 million in the bank. 1, because it's there for us if we need it. 2, because it can have that resource just to go back and forward. It's not needing it, but it's still worth having it. Now, the other thing I did do that I haven't covered is the solar power plant. Off camera, I actually placed more in my alpha group. Courier Vanguards. They're all small ships there. And you can see they're actually quite busy. What they ended up doing is they're pretty much shuttle running to my my metal factory. See, there's quite a lot of them hanging around. I think this one here is going to show me. Oh, full of energy cells. Full of energy cells. Yeah, they're all sat with energy cells because they're actually giving this station here the energy cells it needs to operate. Go to the logical overview. See, we're completely rammed with cells. Looks like we're automatic buy, create sell offer. Create sell offer. No restriction. Have it where it's set to about there. Now hopefully that'll sell any leftovers that we've got. We're giving ourselves. Now, again, this is just keeping ourselves nicely ticked over. You can see we've got a lot of components in there. Now, we've got 4 ships, 2 large, 2 extra large. The likelihood is that station's going to need some of our resources. So hopefully we should see an influx of requirements. It looks like we're starting to see that there now. Looks like they've got their own fleet. Go carrier Colossus Vanguard. Now we do definitely need to get ourselves a supply ship. It's set up there with drone components, but the fill capacity, supply fleet. It'll supply that fleet for him. There, we want to look into that ourselves. Again, I think they're using a Nomad. Colossus Vanguard. One that was the main ship. Nomad Vanguard was its supply ship. This is the one we looked at earlier. And I think this is going to be our next purchase. Let's see how much we need for a high. Again, it's high shielding, decent thrusters, engine, the likes. We definitely want to keep it alive. Repair and cargo drones, plus the large crew as well, which means we can expand our crew capabilities as well. 31 million, so it's not too bad. We could potentially get it now. How much can we actually fully get? Have a look. We've got 3 in the bank. If I go to information, it'll tell me. We can get about 28 million in total. So it isn't worth basically emptying our bank account. So we've had a lot done. Our defense platform is still nicely tucked away in Hatik Var's choice. Now, I could go ahead and do that mission, but I'm not going to because it's not going to benefit us at the present moment. What I am interested in... Why you're over there? I think you're supplying... Still in theory building. You are still building. Top that up. Excellent. So our command carrier is just sat there nicely. Do we need to worry about stocks? I want Elite Vanguard. Commander's about 2 stars, so it's getting level. Got no storage at all. Probably do with could get supplies. We're gonna need fire. We want to look at getting supplies for it at some so that we can fly our 100 ships at it. But I think all in all, everything is set ready to go for our new ships. We're going to have the line breaker in 18 minutes. Have one of the battle escorts in 25 minutes. Got the other 2. It says an hour and 2 hours, but it's not going to be that long. So let's go ahead and fast forward to when the 4 ships are done. We can join them up with the carrier. We can start reforming that fleet and considering going back into the enemy territory. Now, we might not have time this episode to go back and notice that, probably next episode, but I still want to see how much credits we've got once them ships are done, and we can start having a look at getting the support vessel. Now, I do want to go for the support vessel at a higher preset, like I've done with the other 4 ships, because realistically now we want the high preset. You know, we are actually supplying the station with resources, and I think my options make that into a shipyard. Producing all the resources we anyway. We could have spent the 100 million that we had on getting one of the shipyards. Certainly going to get the small shipyard. Let's just go ahead and have a look how much.
It's an honor to see you here.
I'd like to buy a blueprint, modules. Now we can't build any of the ships because we've also not got them unlocked as well. But I definitely want to unlock the one did we want? The Quasar Vanguard we wanted. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it's the Quasar. We're using the Elite Vanguards as kind of like the go-to ships. We can actually get the Quasar Vanguard now, so let's go ahead and get that.
Good luck out there.
Now, the only other thing we might have to deal with while that's auto-saving is obviously things like the shielding, the weapons and stuff like that. We may not have the capabilities, so what we'll do is I'll take a look at what we can get on a current shipyard, what the high preset's showing me, the high preset tends to go for the better option. You can, as I say, set your own presets up, like I have done with my other line breakers that I had previously, where you had it set with the beam turrets and the alt turrets rather than the flak turrets. But obviously, you saw we had such a force that I'm going to go with flak. We'll see what it sets us up with, and then we might make some adjustments, make our own presets. We've got like this force where, you know, what I was saying before, we had the CAG leader, then it's breaking it down, things like long range, short range. We'll have a look into actually setting up a proper fleet like that, because I feel like having them mixtures does help. Because when you're facing any type of ship, even though they're all attacking, the ones that are going to be longer range are going to hit carrying missiles and stuff. Missiles isn't something we've looked at, which I definitely want. And the other thing I want to try and do as well is I'm actually going to apply my joystick and probably take out some of these fighters myself, have a bit of fun. And the reason why I've not done it until now is because we didn't have teleportation. Now we have teleportation. The mod that I suggested, which was teleportation escape teleporter, means that if the ship is blown up, you will teleport to the capital ship rather than just dying. I think that's the only problem with this game is if you just die, you die. That's it. You've got to restart from resave. It's just a bit of a faff. So that's solved and sorted, so we can. But
It's an honor to see you
other than
here.
having our ship, we need to have a look at the equipment we need for it. We do have, I think, we don't have any of the weapons yet, but we've obviously got some of the shields and stuff like that. So we'll have a look at that on the next episode. We also need to have a look at how much do we need. We do need to get a one dock here at some stage so you can place the one docks all over the place. Large ship fabs, don't want. Small medium ship maintenance base, 35 million, 116 million. Small medium ship fabrication bay. You want both in theory? Definitely want the fabrication bay, so 116 million. So what I might do is I might hold off the supply ship for now, and we may try and bank that 116 million, because that will give us a great amount of credit coming in as well, because people are going to want us to build. So
Good luck out there.
let's now fast forward to when our new ships are finished and complete. As you can see, third one, an hour 6. That might be a little bit faster. So we'll head on when it's completed, and we'll see how we're going. Welcome back, everybody, and as you can see, we have our new battleships in place with the 2 Valor escorts ready to go. Now, obviously, I'm going to leave these separate for now, but basically the 2 battleships can both now be given a order. So we can either have defend commander or attack with commander. Now, since this is a big ass ship and we don't want to lose it, we're going to defend commander. Defend alpha. So they are now a part of that fleet. If I go ahead and move this to here, should in theory set themselves up nicely. Now I'm going to place these with this one for now, and I'll have it attack with commander for now, so then we can form the fleet. Cancel all orders, move all. And let's have it fly to. Have it fly to. Nicely. Hopefully it'll come in some sort of formation. We'll arrange the formation at some stage. At least have it all together. So we've got 3 capital ships and 2 larger ships there. So hopefully we shouldn't have too many problems now. But yeah, we're all set and good to go. We've got 18 million in the bank. I did let it tick over for a while. We've got another 15, 16 million there, so we're got about, just over 33 million for spending. However, that's still working its way up. However, we've got a lot of things that we need to buy. The main one for me right now is a small medium ship factory, plus obviously getting all the blueprints that we showed earlier on. So that's going to be the aim for the next episode, is to try and get that factory going, fabricator, so we can provide our fleet with Minotaur Vanguard. Oh, that's my ship. That's the one that we came in on. I forgot about that then. So yeah, so the next aim is to obviously provide ourselves our own ships at a much lower cost. But obviously, I need to check on the design, style, and everything like that before we go ahead and start that going. So we can actually get all the blueprints we need to be able to do it. But that's about 110 million, so I'm going to let it tick over for now. We have a battle group here, so in theory we shouldn't have any problems. They're a little far out, so let's just go ahead. I think they're just heading to the waypoint and turning around. Let's just double check what set formation. We're at the backwards cross. But we want an inverse V shape, I think. Got the X shape, cross, so backwards X, backwards cross. Let's go ahead and go for the V shape. I know we want the inverse V. Set formation. V shape. Perfect, right. So that should hopefully set that up when they arrive. They'll defend themselves quite nicely now. There's nothing going in from there, I don't think. Even that large force we saw last time, if they're all stuck together, they'll just annihilate them, especially with the two battleships having the flak on them. So that's going to be us for this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section what you're thinking, thoughts, anything whatsoever, or if you want to see something else doing as well, let me know. But until next time, everybody take care for now, and I shall see you all on the next one. Bye-bye for now.